I am trying as much as possible to be useful in just civic and political activities these days. um, it's April 6th, 2025, and country's in bad shape, world's in bad shape, and so I feel like I need to do my part somehow. Um, I I feel I have been told, and I admire people who take this advice seriously, that things that I do on my own, like posting stuff on Facebook or make a phone call to my senator, writing a letter to someone in another state to encourage them to vote what I consider to be the good way. Um, that those individual actions that I might take are, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't want to discourage anyone from doing those individual actions, but what I need to be focused on is connecting with others, working with someone else, working in a small team, preferably. Um, Now, it's on my mind, especially this morning, because, yesterday, April 5th, big day of action in Tillamook County here where I live. Um, Lots and lots of people turned out for the National Day of Action organized by Indivisible. I'm gathering from social media that that was a huge success, and I wasn't part of it. I didn't go. Now I had a, a good excuse. I had a long planned visit from a family friend, and just couldn't, you know, cancel that or anything. She and her partner were supposed to be here on April 5th, and we promised to serve them lunch, and so we did. But I felt bad about not being part of that. Now, being part of great big groups is stressful, difficult for me, and I think a lot of other people. And I don't know why exactly. I think for a lot of people that's really energizing and uplifting. And I found it that way back during the Women's March. I did participate in the Women's March back uh, after Trump was elected the first time. I was proud to have done that. I sent my daughter. I think that was my birthday present to my daughter that year. I bought her a ticket to Washington, D.C., so that she could attend the Women's March in Washington, D.C., and very glad to have done that. But what really works for me is to have a little cohort. That's the term that's for this that's been on my mind lately. I don't know why exactly, but a small group of people, somewhere between, I don't know, four at the very least, five, 4 or 5 minimum, 9 maximum. If we get to be a double digit group, just anything more than 10 people in a Zoom room, or in any kind of small team that I've ever been associated with. You got more than 9 or 10 software engineers working on a project, it's gonna not go well, right? Something about the communication doesn't work well. Something about the accountability doesn't work well. There's this phenomenon of, yeah, somebody else will do that. Somebody says, we need somebody to do such and such, and, you know, too big a team. Somebody else is gonna, I'm gonna assume somebody else is gonna do it. So I need a team to be part of where I kind of feel like, I know what I bring to the team, and I know what that guy brings to the team, and I know what she brings to the team, and when there is a need, um, I know how to get together with them. And in fact, I don't really even have to call a meeting because we get together regularly. The most satisfying parts of my professional career were when I worked for a manager or a team leader who had sense enough to gather our team every single day. In the last few years, before I retired, that was happening on Zoom. My manager, um, our corporate culture was, we have, it's called Scrum, in the high tech world, but we got together every day, and we just checked in about what we're working on and how it's going, and we kind of were able to talk about the plan, the project, and we didn't really get our marching orders, so to speak, at those meetings, but checked in. It was strengthening, and God, I miss that. So I want to find people who are willing to help think about how we might be able to recreate that. I've been for years. I've been calling this the idea of building a network of small teams, and maybe we call it a network of cohorts or something like that. And I want to find people who are also interested in that and willing to help me work on it. So if you're one of those people, if this is an appealing idea, if you miss the sense of being part of something that is effective and where communication works, and where we can all be, we can feel like we are helping to hold the world together, well, this is the time. And I hope that you will get in touch with me somehow. I'm trying to make Signal kind of my preferred app for communicating about things like that. But you can also email me, um, zebrakeen@gmail.com, or 503-732-0266. You can use my phone number to contact me all kinds of different ways, or um, or get in touch with me on Signal. I think if I remember right, my ID there is Cole.Brickeen, or Cole_Brickeen at hey, I don't remember, but get in touch with me somehow, and I'll get you connected there. Thank you. I sure would like to meet some other people who feel the same way I do, even if you also feel guilty for not having participated in the National Day of Action yesterday.